may have visited. Was there any girlfriends he may have had? She replied no to both. I asked her if he had any known drug or alcohol issues or addictions. She indicated no.
You did ask about a drug addiction?
Yes, I did.
You did ask about an alcohol issue?
Yes, I did.
And she indicated to you that he did not have either of those problems?
That is correct.
Okay. Did you ask about whether he had a phone?
Yes, I did.
What did she say to that?
She had told me that when he left the house that he did have his phone with him, and then she provided me his cell phone number.
I'm going to assume that you then asked her if she'd attempted to make contact with him by that phone?
Yes, I did.
And what did she say to you?
She told me that either the battery had gone dead, or he was not answering it, or the phone was turned off due to that it was going straight to voicemail.
So she indicated to you that she had attempted to call his number?
Yes, and that she had consistently been trying to call the number.
Did she tell you when he left the house?
Yes, she told me that he left the house Sunday, January 26th at approximately 6 p.m. to go for a walk and never returned.
Did you review then the report that Officer Mason provided to, I guess, the Detective Bureau on the missing persons information?
Yes, I did.
And did you initially see that she had reported him missing the day before on Saturday night?
Not at that time.
Did you subsequently see that?
Yes, I did.
What else did you ask?
Let's see here. I had asked her if she would know of any places that he would have gone to. She indicated that he had a boat at Emerald City Marina, and during the summer he'd like to go there because it was quiet and serene. She also indicated, too, that he did have some mental issues and that he was on probation out of the 40th District Court.
This is where we then come up with the name Frank Werner?
That is correct.
Would you tell the jury what she told you about the name Frank Werner?
Don explained to me that it was approximately a year ago, so it would have been in 2013 sometime. Ramsay had a friend, Frank Werner, that Ramsay and Frank Werner and a couple of other people had been out for the evening, that they were drinking, and that Frank Werner either hit or pushed Ramsay, causing Ramsay to fall, and subsequently Ramsay hit his head on the concrete, which created a closed head injury.
Did she then indicate why Ramsay was now on probation?
Yes. She had stated that Ramsay apparently found out that Frank Werner was at Fishbone's restaurant, that he went up there and without provocation punched Frank Werner in the face while he was seated at the bar at Fishbone's. Ramsay then left. I believe that he got in his car and that there was a accident, one-car vehicle accident at Shore Club, which is located within 1,000 yards of Fishbone's restaurant at 9 Mile and Jefferson and St. Clair Shores.
Did she indicate to you any changes in behavior in Ramsay from the time that he was injured by Frank Werner several years ago up to the time that he was placed on probation and up to the time he went missing?
Yes. Donna had told me that after Ramsay had suffered this closed head injury that his behavior became very erratic. He would yell for no reason. He would just have, in general, erratic behavior, and that he would obsess about the evening of the initial fight that he had between Frank Werner and himself.
Did she begin to tell you a little bit, I guess, of how difficult the last year for Ramsay had been?
Yes.
What did she say to you?
She told me that in 2013 that it had been an especially difficult year for Ramsay due to not only the death of his father, but also to the death of his grandmother. Donna had told me that Ramsay, upon the death of his father, had attempted to or threatened to commit suicide, of which at that time she had him committed.
Did she talk about what diagnoses had been given about Ramsay's behavior and his mental illness?
The only thing that Donna told me was that he suffered from depression and psychosis.
Did she tell you, I guess, anything else during this initial conversation?
I believe that was about it.
Once you completed the conversation, do you continue to then pursue a missing persons report or an investigation?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
At this time, I had requested our dispatch to send a marked scout car over to Emerald City. I wanted to see if he might possibly be on the boat that she had indicated, which was now in dry dock. I spoke with Sue, who was the manager at Emerald City, and she described where the boat was located in dry dock. I had the officers then respond to see, as I said before, to see if he had been on that boat.
What else did you do?
As a result of the officers going out there, they found that there were no footprints noted anywhere around the boat, nor was the boat disturbed. So we knew he had not been on the boat. I then contacted the Coast Guard and asked them if, in the event that if he was going to harm himself, the ice was rather thick due to the bad winter, that he may have gone out onto the ice to, potentially, harm himself. I asked the Coast Guard at that time if they could do a BOL or be on the lookout for Ramsay to make sure he wasn't anywhere on the ice, and they said that they would alert the other Coast Guard stations down the shoreline. I then also verified through Lean that, in fact, we had put a Lean message out to all the surrounding communities that Ramsay was considered to be a missing, endangered person, and that...
What is endangered?
Endangered means that they may either cause harm to themselves or to others.
And that information was based solely on the information that Donna told you?
That is correct.
You'd had no prior interaction with Ramsay Scrivo?
No.
You, unlike, say, Officer Mason, who indicated that he had seen him in the police department a couple of times, you had never had anything to do with any investigation about Ramsay?
No.
At that time, had you spoken to any other family members about Ramsay or Ramsay's lifestyle?
Not on that Tuesday.
Now, aside from the Coast Guard in Emerald City, do you then speak to the probation agent, his agent, Corey Towler?
Yes, I did.
And is that on the same day, on Tuesday, the 28th?
It may have been on the 29th. I'm not quite certain, but it was, I believe it might have been on that Wednesday morning.
What did you learn from Corey?
Upon talking to Corey Towler, she advised, I told her, I said, I've got this missing, and she said, yes, that Donna had first visited her on Monday, January 27th, and made her aware that Ramsay had gone missing on Saturday, January 25th, at approximately 6 o'clock in the evening, and that Corey knew something was awry due to Ramsay being what she described as the perfect probationer. He didn't miss his alcohol tests. He didn't miss his drug tests. If he was to report to her, he was timely with her.
Did she indicate to you that he was suicidal?
She said that she was concerned that he may want to hurt himself.
Does that play into, I guess, the urgency of the investigation?
Absolutely.
Once you've spoken to her, do you, what's the next step that's taken in missing persons cases, and what did you do here?
At that time, realizing her concern for Ramsay's welfare, at that time I met with Detective Sergeant Jay Coho, and I briefed him on where my investigation was at, and that I asked him if we could possibly do an extended circumstance on Ramsay's cell phone to not only see if there was any phone calls going in and out, but also to start looking for a GPS location trying to locate him quicker than waiting for him to be arrested on a bench warrant, which Corey Towler also had done in the hopes of finding him sooner.
When you receive the records, do you review the records?
Yes, I did.
What do you begin to do then with the information that's provided on those records?
I start looking at every phone number that's been coming in since basically, January 24th, I believe, was the date that we began our search. I query those telephone numbers through our Clemis system to see if I can locate.
What, Clemis is what?
Clemis is our report writing system that is shared through not only Macomb County, Oakland County, and some Wayne County communities. I look through there to see if I can identify any of the phone numbers and link a person to that. I was unable to find anybody, so I just started calling people and to find out if they knew what had happened to Ramsay, had they seen Ramsay, of which everybody had told me no.
So would you tell us, I guess, the individuals that you called?
I believe the first person that I called was Tim Treppa, who told me that
Mr. Treppa's already testified, so the information he told you was consistent with the information he testified to here?
Absolutely.
Okay. Who else did you call?
I called James Scrivo.
James Scrivo, we've heard that name before. Who is he in relation to Ramsay and to the defendant?
That would be Ramsay's first cousin. James' mother is Kay and Ralph Scrivo are his parents. Ralph Scrivo is Dan Scrivo's brother, who was Ramsay's father.
Had he had any recent contact with Ramsay?
No.
Who else did you call?
Andy Scrivo.
And Andy Scrivo is who?
He is another cousin who resides, I believe, in Las Vegas.
And that's the son of?
I'm not quite sure. I believe Andy may be a second cousin.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure whose parent that Andy belonged to.
Any relevant information from Andy?
Andy told me that, he had spoke with Ramsay over the last couple of weeks.
But again, nothing relevant to the investigation?
No.
Okay. Who else did you call?
Jason Scrivo.
And Jason Scrivo is who?
Ramsay's brother.
Where was Jason living at the time?
In New Orleans.
Did you learn how long Jason had been living in New Orleans?
Jason told me that it was approximately right after Ramsay had moved in, or I'm sorry, Donna had moved in with Ramsay, that he decided that he was going to be leaving Michigan and was looking to move to New Orleans.
And had he been living in New Orleans?
Yes.
Was he able to provide you any information to assist you in the search for Ramsay at this time?
Basically, Jason had told me that Ramsay had burned a lot of bridges, that he really didn't have any more friends, that his mother had been in constant contact with him as he was in contact with his mother, trying to figure out where Ramsay might be.
At some point now, do you make another call to Donna Scrivo?
Yes, I did.
When is that?
I had called Donna on Wednesday morning.
This would now be the 29th.
I'm sorry, the 29th, correct.
What was this conversation about?
I had learned from Tim Treppa that Donna told Tim that Ramsay left the house with a Discover card, a Capital One card, $20 to $30 in cash, and his driver's license. When I know that somebody has credit cards, what I do is I get those credit card numbers, get in contact with the credit card companies to find out if there's any activity on the credit cards. Donna had told me she was checking his credit cards, that there was no information. She didn't have the credit card numbers available at that time in the conversation, and told me that she'd have to look for them and get those numbers for me.
So she indicated to you that he had the credit cards with him?
That is correct.
Did you ask about his driver's license?
Yes,
What did she indicate to you about the driver's license?
that he had his driver's license with him.
What else did you talk about during this call? Or was that mainly it?
I believe at that time that was about it, because I was wanting her to look for those credit cards so that I could get the credit card information to start researching that avenue.
Normally now with missing persons cases, if it appears that there might be some substance to it, the media becomes involved in photographs are released asking for the public's assistance. Did you take that approach with her?
Yes. Later on in the day, I believed I'd called Donna back, inquiring, because I still hadn't gotten the credit card numbers from her. And at that time, I had asked her if she wanted to go to the media and if she could provide a picture of Ramsay for me. Donna indicated at that time, no, that she's a very private person, that she wanted to keep this as a private matter, and did not wish to go with the media. I also believe I told her at that time, if she didn't feel comfortable with going on television, that I would do the television interview to get the information out about Ramsay, and she still said no. And I never got a picture of Ramsay.
Now, Tim Treppa testified that Donna called him on Friday the 31st and indicated that you had asked him, had asked Donna that day for a photograph of Ramsay so that you could take that to the St. Clair County Medical Examiner's office to compare it with the body parts in the head that was found. You just indicated that you never had another conversation with her about a photo after that. Did you call Donna on Friday and ask her for a photograph of Ramsay?
No.
To, I guess, clean this point up, did you, I guess, provide a photo at some point to St. Clair County Sheriff's Department of Ramsay?
Yes, I did.
What photo did you provide?
I provided them with, I believe it was 3 total photographs of Ramsay, one being his miter's image from the Secretary of State driver's license, and then from his cell phone that we had acquired, there were selfies on there of Ramsay that were also submitted, especially one selfie had Ramsay's eyes closed, and then there was another one with his eyes open.
So the photos you provided came from his phone and came from another source. You never asked Donna for photos?
No, I never received any photographs from Donna.
Since you're talking about the phone now, and we're on Wednesday, when do you get notice that Mr. Tyner has found a phone in front of his house?
I was working after 4 o'clock, which is when my shift ends, and I received a phone call, I believe it was from James Scrivo, probably about 4:30ish, advising me that he received a phone call from Charles Tyner saying he had Ramsay's phone. James at that time gave me the telephone number for Charles Tyner, and then I made contact with Charles.
What about what time did you make contact with Charles?
It was probably between 4:30 and 5 o'clock.
I'm going to assume in this conversation with Mr. Tyner, he discussed with you that he had a phone, and what arrangements then did you make to receive or retrieve that phone?
I told Mr. Tyner that I was going to have our dispatch have a scout car respond to his residence to pick up the cell phone, and also if he would please write a statement in regards to how he acquired the cell phone, where it was located, and such.
About what time of day did you actually physically receive that phone?
I believe I received the phone, it was after 5 o'clock.
Did you immediately then call Donna Scrivo and say, hey, we found the missing phone?
No, actually, because of the fact it was after 5 o'clock, I wanted to go home for the night, and I thought that I would just deal with the cell phone in the morning.
Now testimony came in from Carolyn Sloan yesterday that on Wednesday night, Donna indicated to Carolyn that you called to say that Mr. Tyner had found the phone. That didn't happen?
No.
You didn't call Miss Scrivo until Thursday to tell her about the phone.
Thursday morning, I first received a phone call from Tim Treppa advising that he had seen a suspicious female at Ramsay's condo driving a white Chrysler and that she was looking in the basement window. I told him, let me call Donna. I want to find out who this person is. So I hung up with Tim, called Donna, and asked Donna at that time, do you know who drives a white Sebring? She said yes, that it was her sister-in-law, Carolyn, and she kind of even chuckled because apparently I think that she thought it might have been funny that everybody was so concerned that it was, somebody, lurking around her house or something.
So,
And
go ahead.
And then at that time, I told her that, by the way, late yesterday, I received a phone call and someone had found Ramsay's phone. Donna sounded almost hopeful, like, that's good news. And I said, yep. I go, let's not get our hopes up. I'm hoping that Ramsay himself dropped the phone, that he is somewhere still in the area, and that we are going to step up our efforts a little bit, get more officers over in that area, and start maybe searching around to see if we can locate them.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please retire to the jury room. Do not leave the jury room.
All rise for the jury, please.
I can always,
Sergeant, I came to talk to you, but I want to talk to you. Got a minute, or you going?
I got a minute, 1 minute.
All right, please.
Excuse me. Yeah, 2 minutes.
Court's back in session. May be seated.
People versus Rock and People versus Kreiner.
Morning, Judge Anthony Sorrentino on behalf of People, time to date set for pretrial.
Morning, Your Honor. I came to the
Right up
people
here.
for 15-840FH, People versus Kreiner, date and time set for pretrial.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Zarnecki on behalf of Ms. Sharon Rock.
Hi, good morning, Your Honor. I'm Aaron Borey on behalf of Lori Kreiner. Lori, come on up here.
Counsel, ask a question.
She's right here.
All right, step up here to the bottom. Proceed, please.
Your Honor, on case number 15-840FH, People versus Kreiner, it's my understanding that the defendant will be tendering a plea of guilty to the principal offense embezzlement of $20,000 to $50,000 with restitution of $17,973.31.
Judge, with respect to Ms. Brock, she has 2 files. She will be pleading guilty as charged, 12 counts with her facial separate.
All right, correct recitation?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Swear both defendants.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
State your name.
Lori Kreiner, she and Brock.
You understand that you're waiving all the rights and the advice of rights form you signed?
Yes.
Is this your signature, Ms. Kreiner?
Yes.
Yours, Ms. Brock? It's my understanding, Ms. Kreiner, you wish to plead guilty to the charges of embezzlement between $20,000 and $50,000. Is that right? You understand the maximum penalty you may receive is up to 10 years in prison. Ms. Brock, on file 603, it's my understanding you wish to plead guilty to the charge of stealing or retaining without consent a financial transaction device. Is that right?
Yes.
And you're also pleading guilty to that charge on file 604,
Yes.
as well as illegal sale or use of a transaction device on file 604, correct?
Yes.
You understand the maximum penalty you may receive with respect to all 3 of those counts on both files is up to 4 years in prison?
Yes.
Have there been any promises or threats to get you to plead guilty today?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will and choice?
Yes.
Do you understand you will not at a later date be able to claim there were promises or threats that caused you to plead guilty today?
Yes.
Have there been any such promises or threats?
No, Your Honor.
None from the people.
Counsel?
No. None, Your Honor.
Please tell me, Ms. Kreiner, what you did between January 13th and May 14th. I'm going to presume that's 2014, even though there's no date on the information.
Yes, Your Honor.
In the city of Sterling Heights, would you believe you're guilty of the crime we just discussed?
May I have a word here, my father?
You may.
Ms. Kreiner, at that time, were you working at KB Tools and any specialties?
Yes.
And while you were working there, did you embezzle or convert for your own purpose between $20,000 or less than $50,000?
Yes.
Did you have everyone's permission to do so?
Ms. Brock, on file 603, tell me what you did on December 11th, 2014 in the city of Utica leads you to believe you're guilty of the crime of stealing or retaining a financial transaction device.
Permission to apply there, Your Honor.
Granted.
Thank you. Ms. Brock, where were you employed on that time of day?
Same.
Okay. And what was your position at Thames Club?
Human resource or front-end supervisor.
And while working there, did you come across a credit card that a customer had used?
Yes.
Okay. And did you keep that credit card for your own use?
Yes.
Okay. Did you use it without permission of the credit card holder?
Yes.
All right, on file 604, ma'am, tell me what you did on December 16th, 2014 in the city of Utica leads you to believe you're guilty of the crimes of stealing or retaining a financial transaction device and illegal sale or use of an FPD.
And permission to apply here. Ms. Brock, you were working at Thames Club at that time, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and while working there, on that occasion, did you retain a customer's credit card for your own use? Okay, and did you use that credit card for your purposes? And that was done without the permission of the credit card holder, is that correct?
Does Clerk comply with MCR 6.02?
Your Honor, I guess I would just make one correction for the record, if I may.
Sure.
Your Honor, regarding the time period, I would ask the defendant if it was actually true that the crime occurred between the time of January 1, 2013 through and including May 31st, 2014.
Oh, so the information is somewhat ambiguous. Those are the years, not the days.
Yes.
It would appear to be the days. All right, go ahead. Ask that. You've already asked that question. Is that right, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. Now his clerk comply with the purpose.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Judge, one correction, you indicated Ms. Brock that all counts were 4-year felonies.
Yes.
I believe there's a visual second notice.
I didn't hear that.
I did put it on the record that she's facing a habitual second.
I'm sure you did, Mr. Clerk. All right, ma'am. Because of the habitual second, all three of your counts, do you understand the maximum penalty is not 4 years, like I originally said, it's 6 years? You understand that? All right. With that, are we on compliance?
Do you want me to forward Your Honor?
Yes.
Ma'am, were you previously convicted on or about June 1st, 1993 of a financial card theft in the Superior Court County of Macomb, State of North Carolina? That applies to both files. Satisfied?
Counsel?
I'm satisfied.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Cryer, charge of embezzlement between $20,000 and $50,000. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Pro accepted plea. Ms. Brock, on file 604, stealing or retaining a financial transaction device. How do you plead? Pro accepted plea. Illegal sale, use of financial transaction device. How do you plead? Pro accepted plea. 603, the charge of stealing or retaining a financial transaction device. How do you plead? Pro accepted plea. Refer both matters to probation. Set sentencing for.
June 30th at 9 o'clock for both matters.
Thank you. Thank you,
All
Judge.
right, bring them right out, Dave. Ready? Bring out the jurors.
Okay, we're not doing the pickups.
Oh, I forgot about the pickups. Yes, please.
I don't know if you had it there.
This one?
Yeah.
You can take it.
Oh. People versus Hibbard and People
About
versus
1 3.
Latkowski.
Right here, face the judge.
State your name.
Jessica Hibbert.
You were supposed to